Okay. There we go. So to this morning, watching RMCF and OFAL. We need to talk about PLAG from yesterday. I'm waiting to see if the trader that was trading we were just talking about trading, wasn't really trading with me. I guess we were kind of trading together a little bit. If he joins the chat, then I'll wait for that to go over it. If not, then we'll just go over it in a little bit. But let me go ahead and add a super chat goal here. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, that's where I need to be. OFAL just popped back up on my scanner. I'm already in it, as you may know. So, oh, Silly Dilly's here. Hello. No, that's not what I want. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Let's go back to this screen. Live. Okay, there we go. Okay, so can I create a super chat goal from here? Maybe not. Andrew's asking if I'm feeling any better. Siobhan says, hey, after a long time. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember who you are, but that's okay. Welcome back. Customization. I'm just trying to figure out how to add a super chat goal on here really quick. No. Okay, maybe I have to. I've done it before. How did I do it? No. Trying to figure this out. So I'm going to be doing things a little, since obviously I think we all know why I'm streaming here, right? And since things can be a little slow sometimes, what I'm going to be doing is just to make my time more worthwhile is I'm going to stream for a half an hour, and if we don't have any super chats, then I'm going to shut it down. If we are getting super chats, then I will continue to stream for the full hour or even more, but that's kind of how we're doing it from now on. So I'm trying to figure out how to add a super chat goal right now. Blah! So 2 years ago, I didn't mean to do that. Maybe I can do it this way. So just a reminder that super chats support the channel. If you appreciate the time that I take to do this, or you just want to support me, that would be a good way to do it. RMCF is moving up. OFAL is having a pullback, which I'm not surprised after that massive move that it just had. RMCF, we're going to talk about levels in a minute as soon as I figure this out. No, that's not what I want. Edit. But yes, I am feeling a little bit better. I slept a little bit better last night than I had the previous couple nights. So, getting there. I'm still trying to figure this out. What if I just go in here?
If you get easily intimidated.
Shut the fuck up. Hello, Anoop. And Manuel. Welcome. And fun fact, if you're watching this, oh, there we go, I got it, finally. If you're watching this afterwards, you can always leave a super thanks. Super chat. Oh no, that's not what I want. Sorry, this is in my way. There we go, start goal. Yes, this is perfect. And you know what? It's been a while since I did a sock reveal. Maybe we'll do that today. There we go. There's your super chat goal. I figured it out, finally. Now, let me pull up my trading platform, and then I'm probably gonna have to sneeze. So. Oh my God, that was good. Exactly. Andrew says, so the super chat goal, a certain monetary value to be reached, etc. Bless you. Yes, thank you. Hello, Eric. And I don't think I can set a monetary goal. I think it only lets me set a goal for the number of super chats, and that is 10. So, and the nice thing about the super chat goal is that it will give us a countdown, a timer of where we're at. So, and it's set for 30 minutes. So if we don't meet the goal in 30 minutes, then I stop the stream. If we do meet it, then we continue. And that's how we're going to do it from now on. All right, so let me pull this up. Make sure everything's good here. Yes, okay. So we are talking about OFAL. I mentioned this already, but in case you didn't hear it the first time, OFAL, I don't have any information about the float size or the short float percentage, but I do have news at 6:30 a.m. that says low float momentum after reverse split triggers a short squeeze. So this is a short squeeze, and boy, did it just squeeze up. I liked it. I got my profit, and then I got back in when it dipped, because that's what I do. RMCF is the other one I'm looking at. I did not tell you about that one. RMCF is a 6.12 million share float, 1.61% short float. It is based out of Colorado because the name of this company is Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. So you know we like it because it's chocolate. And it had news at 7:30 that its board is exploring a sale and a strategic review. And it has surged up 139% so far. Wealth says look at SMMT. No. I haven't seen SMMT on any of my scanners, but I'll check it out. SMMT, Summit Therapeutics. Just looking at this, I can tell it has no volume and I wouldn't trade it. No volume, no trade. That's my motto. But I'll read you it. Read you? That didn't make sense. You know what I mean. It is, yeah, and this is way too high of a float for me. 134% short, or 134 million share float. That is much higher than the low float stocks that I usually trade. Hold on, RMCF is having a big move at the moment. Where are we going? I didn't look at the levels on this yet, crap. Oh yes, we have a pre-market high of 248. RMCF just had a little pop to 188. But you never know if it's going to go to the pre-market high. It could always break the pre-market high, but it did have a huge drop at the pre-market high. So I'm looking to take profit below that. I'm going to put my sell to order in around 222. And I'm going to close the majority of my position. Oops, sell, yes, confirm. All right, so I've got my sell order, not for the whole position, but for the majority of the position. We'll see what happens with that. Now, back to SMMT, Summit Therapeutics, you were asking about. 134 million share float, like I said, much higher than the low float stocks that I trade. And it has a massive short float of 26.97%. So I guess maybe you might be looking at a short squeeze for this one. It's based out of Miami, Florida, so it is not an Israeli or Chinese piece of crap. At least you have that going for you. But it has no volume. I'm looking right now. The volume on the 1 minute candles is like 1,000 shares, 4, 5, 6, 10. I mean, this has no volume. So I personally wouldn't trade that. The reason that you don't trade no volume stocks that have no volume like that is because if you do get in it, it's going to be very hard to get out if nobody's trading it. And then you get stuck. Wealth says, is it too late for RMCF? Well, I would wait until 2 more minutes until this 5-minute candle closes, and then you'll know. There is another high of 190. This current 5-minute candle, the high is 188. So I really think if you're gonna get in it, maybe wait for a break of 190. And like I said, it had a massive rejection at 248. So I just don't know about that. So 190 or 250 might be levels that I would get in if you were looking to trade this. But like I said, today is a shit trading day. I give it a 2.5 out of 10. So it's a risky day to trade. I'm just saying. What am I using to check these things? Well, I use TradingView for my looking at charts. That's what I was trying to say. I use it on desktop and mobile. I have the app and the desktop version. I like both. You can add a lot of really great indicators on here. I do VWAP. I also have EMAs, which is, so VWAP is the volume weighted average price, and that weights, that doesn't really make sense how I was gonna explain it. It basically gives you an idea of the average price with taking the volume into account. Okay, I was like, what the hell just popped up on my computer? Ugh. 31 seconds left in the 5-minute candle on RMCF. And then I use Webull for trading. If you go to my video descriptions, there's a link to where you can download Webull. I also have Webull on the app and the desktop. The desktop Webull I use especially for level 2 data, which is really important to be looking at. And for whatever reason, I just don't like the way that the order book looks on Webull on the desktop. So most of the time I put trades in on my phone in the Webull app, but I also do have hotkeys set up. I have them set up on my old laptop, not on my new one. That's why it was kind of hard to trade when I was traveling, because I didn't have, it wasn't letting me set up hotkeys actually. It only let me set up like one, I know that. So I usually try to use hotkeys. If something's moving pretty quickly, I can use the hotkeys to get in and out very quickly. I always recommend those. But if I have a little bit more time, or if I want to get like a really specific price, then I'll use the order book on the app. Does that answer your question? Oh, and then the other thing I use, when I'm telling you like how big the float is, what the short float is, and all that information, that's FinViz. FINVIZ.com. That's where I get all that information. That tells me and there's a lot of information on there. The only information I really care about is the float size, the short float, where the company is located, and if it has recent news, and all that can be found here. But it tells you all kinds of other information, like the market cap, the income, the sales, employees, when the IPO was. Sometimes that is kind of useful. All kinds of other crap. But I'm not really into fundamentals. Fundamentals are all that information, and really like all the information about a company. I don't necessarily care about that. I'm more of a technical trader, which means I'm looking at chart patterns and the price action. I am not trading options. I don't trade options, just stocks. Super Recognizer likes to use the Fibonacci retracement. That's not an indicator that I've really studied too much. I know a lot of people do use that. I've heard of it, I've looked at it a little bit, but you can get overwhelmed if you're looking at too many indicators. So, you know, you find one that works for you. EMA, I would say, and VWAP are the two ones that are, and relative volume are the ones that I think are most important. The EMA is the exponential moving average. It's a little bit more detailed than a regular moving average. And I look at the 20, 50, 100, and 200. Is what I have on my chart. Okay, now that we've completely nerded out, that was fun. Super Recognizer, I don't like your first comment there. I suggest you reel it in, the rest are fine. Good morning, contemplated. Ahmad is looking for a short squeeze on OO. And superior trades of futures, good for you. Let me tell you about, okay, He's mentioning OO. I don't know anything about this. Never heard of it. I put in 00. That's not right. OO. Uma. Uma. My ankle itches. And I have nothing on my scanner right now. It's a dead morning. Luis, if you would like to do an online session, that's something that you can pay for. I do not do free interaction in that way on this channel in a live stream, obviously. You can pay to spin my wheel. You can pay to have me throw a dart at the dartboard. I see you, Andrew. I see you. Andrew just sent. He did. Where was I? Yes. I am more than happy to do sessions. Kind of the way I work, just so you know, is if you would like to do a session with me, I do sessions online or in person, depending on where you live. Online sessions need to be scheduled at least 24 hours in advance because I do have a busy schedule. Let me adjust the settings here. We're getting some losers in the chat that I really don't ever want to see again. There we go. Better. Now, online sessions have to be scheduled an hour in advance. Hour? 24 hours. Duh. You have to send tribute to discuss anything with me. If you want pricing for this, that, and the other fucking thing, you better send my $50 tribute or you will not get a response. That's how it works. If you don't like it, I don't care. You know, go bother somebody else. That's an online session. If you are interested in an in-person session, I do not have any current trips scheduled. I do plan on doing more road trips like the one that I just got back from, where I did do a couple in-person sessions while I was in the different cities that I was in. But I am open to traveling anywhere if accommodations and travel is paid for. So, Nick says too much. Well, I'm sorry you're broke and you can't afford me. What can I say? You know, if you want to talk to somebody for free, go on a dating app. Andrew says, be right back. It didn't let my message go through. It was saying, don't reveal or leave yet. I need your... You're funny, Andrew. Okay, I will not. I will wait for Andrew to return to do sock reveal, at least. But you guys are lucky, you know, that Andrew sent already. Otherwise, we would be ending the stream at half hour. You're so lucky. You should thank him. You should all thank him. Now, wait, I can't see my stocks if I have this mirror here. Oh well, it's okay. I can peer around it. I'm gonna put a little makeup on. And I'm still watching OFAL RMCF. Did I go over the levels already? Yes, I did. I talked about RMCF levels. And OFAL, OFAL that's the short squeeze one. And it just had a huge surge up to 350. So it is, no, RMCF is moving right now. Okay, let me move the mirror. Something's moving. Gotta pay attention. What is, oh, I already have my sell order in place for RMCF. I did not put my sell order in place for OFAL. So let's see. It hit a high of 290 and then it hit this high of 350. So I think it's reasonable to say the next high could be 398 since it seems to be hitting right below whole and half dollars. Well, it only got to 290, so maybe 389. Yeah. Okay. That is my educated guess on that one. If we see another surge, we may not. You know, it's a stock market, anything can happen. What did I say? 389. We're going to do 388 to be on the safe side. Sell, continue, confirm. All right, now let us proceed with some makeup. Hold on one second. Let me check something. Yes. Okay. Good morning, Magic. Mr. Juan is wondering, well, we'll just call him Mohammed, is wondering what this live stream is about. I am mostly talking about stocks and day trading, but I'm also a financial dominatrix. So occasionally I'll have submissives come in my chat who want to get drained. So I have a wheel and a dartboard. Phil says I don't need any makeup. Yeah, well, I like to put it on. So Zamir says, so nice dress. And I imagine there's a language barrier there. And I think what you meant is that you like the way that I'm dressed. It's a sport bra. Keep your comments respectful and appropriate, or you will be banned off the channel. Don't get too excited. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it. Bibo is thanking Andrew for his contribution because of Andrew, this live stream will be continuing past 30 minutes. As I mentioned before, on all my live streams, I will only be streaming for 30 minutes unless we have enough super chats for me to continue. That's the new rule that was just implemented today. RMCF is on the move big time. I do realize I'm holding this mirror like a baseball bat. I'm not going to beat you yet. Don't worry. I'm just moving it out of the way so I can see the chart. Level 2 looks good. I have my sell order in place. I'm ready. I'm ready. RMCF. Yes, 22 seconds. Let's close above 190. It's at 190 right now. 17 seconds. Close above 190, my friend. And this will please me very much. Nice high volume 5-minute green candle. I like it. It is going to close. Well, I shouldn't say that. You never know. It could drop like a rock in an instant. But it didn't. It did have a close above. It closed at 193, which is a good close. That was a nice candle. It's good. So now we're having a little bit of a pullback. We'll see what happens. Jose says he will marry me. Well, lucky me. I'm just jumping for joy that you decided to marry me. What a lucky girl I am. Okay. David, I didn't even read your stupid comments because I don't care. So, goodbye. Have a nice life. Okay, that's better. Now I can see the charts while I put my makeup on. That's what I was going for. Good morning, Matt. Matt says all of my investments go into the SPY, but if I wanted to get into day trading, which platform would you recommend? I would recommend that you go on, actually, I think I might have the video in I have a day trading playlist on this channel. I don't teach any of the videos, but there's other people. Those are a lot of the videos that I've learned off of. And I believe I've got a video from Ross Cameron in there where he goes over a bunch of trading platforms. It really kind of depends on your personal preference. I like Webull. That's what I like. And I have a link in my description. If it is a platform that you want to join, I have a referral code for that. So I like I said, the app, mobile app, and the desktop version of Webull. I just like the way that it's set up. I find it very easy to read. I've also used, before they got rid of the PDT rule a couple months ago, I also tried, I think it was called CMEG or something. It was like some offshore broker, because it used to be, as of a couple months ago, that you had to have $25,000 to do more than 3 day trades a week. They've changed that. Now you can do as many day trades as you want, no minimum, which is fantastic, but also kind of dangerous for some people. So you had to use an offshore broker to get around that rule, and then there were very steep transaction fees for the trades. So every trade that you make cost money. So it's very easy to lose a lot of money. Webull does, I think there's sometimes I'll see a transaction fee of a cent or 2 cents. I mean, it's nothing. Most platforms don't have fees these days. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't remember any of the other platforms off the top of my head. I've used TradeStation before. I don't like that one. Not a fan. But yeah, I would check out that video that Ross Cameron made because he goes over a bunch of different trading platforms. I haven't tried a ton of them. I've probably tried 3 or 4. And this is the one that I like and I'm comfortable with, so I've stuck with it. I tried to sign up for Robinhood a while back and I had an issue with like some of the personal information or something. I think I had trouble with the address or something because I just moved. I don't know what the problem was. But I was never able to set up a Robinhood account. But I've heard pretty bad things about Robinhood. And also, I don't think you can trade in pre-market before 7 a.m. Usually I do start trading at 7 a.m., but sometimes I do trade even earlier than that. So that would be a problem for me. RMCF is coming down. There are a lot of sellers stacked up right now, but let me see what the 15-minute chart looks like. Okay, so we still have 1 minute and 10 seconds on the 15-minute candle. We'll see what that looks like if it shapes up a little bit. Giovanni says, hello, goddess. I want to become your sissy. So this is kind of a twofer live stream in the mornings. Like I said, I do day trading, so we might have some random traders in the chat, and that's fine. But then I'm also a financial dominatrix, so we have a lot of, most of my channel is submissive men, in case you were wondering what the hell is going on. If you are a submissive and you want to serve me, the way to do that is to send my initial tribute of $50. You can send a super chat right here on YouTube, or you can go to my links in my bio and send that way. But I do not interact for free. I am not a lifestyle dom. Do I still do D ratings? Absolutely. But the same rule applies to any interaction I'm going to do with you. You have to send my initial tribute before I'm going to discuss anything with you. And you have to verify your age, that you're over 18. I'm not going to sit here and talk about D ratings and other stuff with people who are underage, obviously. Take Back says, acknowledge her and bow down. That would be wise to all of you. And he says, shalom, my lady, I'm CA. Okay. Andrew says, he's back. He made news crew laugh, yet on the road to hydraulic hose store. What? Oh, he was blasting Spice Girls. What song were you listening to? All right, I said I was going to do makeup like 10 minutes ago. Let's do it. And, hold on. I showed this to you already the other day, but I'm going to show it again. I still have not tried this on yet, but I'm excited. Oh, Wannabe, good choice. Spotify Shuffle. This is very stinky, but here I have my very first latex outfit, which is very stinky. That a sub bought for me. So that's the top, and this is the bottom. I still haven't tried it on because I want to make a video of me trying it on. Maybe I'll get around to it today. I just wasn't feeling up to it the last couple days. So hopefully I can go for my swim today and try on, yes, my new outfit. Take Back loves the outfit. Yes, we haven't seen it on yet. I don't know if I hope it fits. I got a little bit on the bigger side because I know latex is tight to begin with, and I don't like things too tight. So hopefully it fits, but we're hopefully going to find out today, if not tomorrow. I am going to try to go for a swim. What did I do? I hit a random button. So still not one thing on my scanner today. It's unbelievable. Not a great day for trading. I'm going to use some toner. I am watching RMCF and OFAL though. I might also have a hiccup. Might happen. Take Back, I don't know what your random numbers mean. Are you trying to tell me that you're 29? Okay. I don't care if you tell me how old you are. And people do this all the time. oh, don't worry, I'm 30 years old. I don't give a fuck, because you know what? Anybody can tell me how old they are. I could sit here and tell you that I'm 72, okay? I'm not. I know some of you would probably say, oh, you look like you are. Shut the fuck up. You will have to verify your age. It's very simple to do. But if you're not willing to do it, then don't bother paying my tribute or reaching out to me, because I require age verification, actual age verification. I'm not going to tell you how I do it right now on this public stream. If you want to serve, you can find out for yourself. And Andrew says, I am the hottest 72-year-old ever. Thank you for that. Yes. Yes. I am actually not 72, just so you know. Bebo is right. I am 43. Bebo says, I'm fucking old. Oh, he says he's 43. Hey, wait a minute. If you're saying you're fucking old at 43, then you're saying I'm fucking old because I'm 43. So you take that back, Bebo. Andrew says baby powder. Yes, it's probably baby powder on the latex. Why do they do that? I don't know much about latex. I need to learn actually more. I looked at a couple companies before I bought this one, and I thought this was the company I had ordered from, that it was supposed to come with some latex shining stuff, but it did not. So I guess I'll have to buy something. All right, let's move along. Andrew says it's simple and worth it. What do you mean? The latex, what are you talking about? What's simple? Oh, the age verification. That's what you're talking about. Where's my, oh. Haha. Do I want to do, no, we don't need that. We don't need the regular lotion. We're just going to do some glotion. Ayua says, Goddess, may I please beg you to be your lifetime doormat? Once again, if you want to have a little kink conversation like this, you need to send tribute and approach properly. I'm not going to sit here and do a full-on session with somebody in my fucking live stream. So, Patrick is asking where Mo is. I'll show you. Let's see if he's in the same spot. Because, yes, he is. I see him. Let me show you where he is. Andrew is telling you that the tribute, age verification, and all of it for your attention and time is worth it. And just so you know, Andrew has paid tribute and has done a video call with me and an in-person session with me. And I guess he wants to do another one. So there you have it. A satisfied customer, I guess you could say. I don't like calling my subs customers, but whatever. Let me show you Mo. Let's go fly a kite up to the high star. Okay. So, once again, you tell me what you think he's trying to tell me here. I think he's trying to send a message. He looks very guilty. And you still haven't eaten your breakfast. So I think Mo, he wants to go on another trip. He's trying to crawl into my luggage. That's the only piece of luggage I haven't completely unpacked yet. There's still a few things in there. Stay. There. Hello, Chris from Australia. I just fell into his feed. Oh, he's gonna stay a while. And you guys have 20 seconds left on your super chat. Andrew is the only one who has sent this morning. Luckily for you, Andrew sent, so we're gonna continue the stream. If he hadn't sent, we would be ending the stream right now because that's the new rule. We have to have so many super chats within 30 minutes or I end the stream. So, now you know for next time. Paxton's here. He says, I'm not going back to sleep. You shouldn't go back to sleep. It's 9:20. It's time for you to get up and work. Yes. Let's do a little concealer. There is still nothing on my scanner whatsoever. So, like I said, today is a shit trading day. RMCF, OFAL are taking forever to do anything. Whether they actually do still remains to be seen, but we're gonna see. Where's my, I do need that. I don't want to get this in my hair. RMCF must have heard me. It's moving a little bit. A little bit. Oh yes, Paxton, that's right. I forgot you were in a different time zone. Yes, still, you need to get your lazy butt up. Don't be lazy. PLAG. This is what we were going to talk about. Oh my. Fuck. All right, you know what? Hold on. We need to talk about PLAG in a second. We need to talk about it. Plague is what I like to call it. Hold please, I'm putting in an order. Not like a food order, like a stock order. It didn't fill. Why didn't it fill? There we go. Okay, let's talk about PLAG. This crazy little thing. It was crazy. Yesterday, we were talking about this and trading it in the morning. We had, oh, and BAOS is another one that was moving yesterday that just popped up. Let me take a look at that one as well. BAOS. Baoshang. Oh, that looks terrible. PLAG, plague, as I like to call it. Let me pull up this chart so I can recall exactly what happened here. We were, holy crap. It's an insane chart. It looks like a weird doodle. So we were trading this in pre-market. It made a move from, and I'm watching because I have open positions right now as I'm talking. It made a move from approximately around 60 cents up to $1.68. Okay. So we were trading it in that range. And then once the market opened, once it broke that 168 pre-market, this thing started halting because, and people are like, why is it halting? So stocks halt when they're moving too fast. Well, they halt for a few different reasons, but usually it's because they're moving very fast and they're very volatile. So the market, the exchange halts them. So, you know, people aren't losing or whatever too much money. And they do it based on the price. Now, I don't know everything about halts. This is something I probably need to study a little bit more. I don't know details regarding exactly when the volatility halts happen, like what the increments are. But I do know the cheaper a stock, when it starts getting up higher like this stock was 60 cents in the previous trading day. So once it starts getting, you know, up 100, 200, 300, 400%, then there's a more narrow band for it to halt. So it'll halt in just a few cents of movement versus a more expensive stock that's like $20 or something might halt if it moves like $5 at a time. You know what I'm saying? That's not actual numbers. That's just like kind of an example to give you an idea. I don't know the specific numbers. But all I'm saying is that when it's a cheaper stock, it'll halt more often. So this thing was halting continuously. We had somebody in the chat yesterday. I don't think he's here today. He was in the chat yesterday and we were talking about the stock. He was trading it. We were trading it. It was around $2 or $1 something or $2 or something. And he said it was going to go to $3. And I said, I think this is going to go to $5. And so it started halting. I didn't trade it too much when it started halting. I actually did trade it a little bit too late in the day, and we're going to get to that, the problem with that. But I think he got out around $3, probably made some nice profit. I think he got out a little bit under $3, if I recall correctly. Hi, Chris. And then, anyways, it did continue to halt on and off all the way up, and it actually had a high of $6.81. So this stock went from 60 cents in pre-market to $6.81. That's like 100x or something. Paxton says, I get that stocks make you money, but it does take your attention. Well, Paxton, as I've mentioned many times before, the whole reason that I stream and trade and do financial domination, not the whole reason for financial domination, but the primary motivation behind my streaming is money. So if you appreciate my time and effort and interaction, you can always send super chats and show me that. And like I said, the new rule going forward is if we don't have a certain number of super chats within 30 minutes of streaming, I will be ending the stream from now on. So lucky for you all, Andrew sent a large tribute, well, a moderate tribute. So that's why I'm still streaming right now. Oh, it's 9:29. The market opens in 28 seconds. Okay, so we're waiting for the market to open. I didn't mean to hold my stocks into the market open, but I was talking and lost track of time. So that's what happened with Plague yesterday, PLAG. And the other reason I wanted to mention that this morning is because there's the bell. The other reason I wanted to mention PLAG is because at one point it halted, and usually the first halt is a 5-minute halt. If it reopens after a halt and immediately halts, sometimes it'll go into a 10 or 15-minute halt. This halt was going on for more than 30 minutes. I don't remember how long the halt actually lasted, but when it happened, it was definitely over 30 minutes. I think it might have been like an hour or something. And people in the chat rooms were saying, oh, it's a T12 halt, not just like a volatility halt. And I was like, crap, because you may recall a few weeks ago, I'm watching PLAG, BAOS, OFAL, VBIO just popped up on my scanner. I've got my eye on too many other things right now, I think. Methinks. Well, let me move BAOS and look at VBIO. I want to see. Curiosity killed the cat, as they say. VBIO. What? There it is. I don't know why it didn't come up the first time. Oh. It's a 38-cent piece of crap. That's what it is. Oh, OFAL halted. Figures. Okay, so what I was saying about PLAG was that people were saying like, oh, it's a T12 halt. And a T12 halt, as I learned, unfortunately the hard way, is when a stock has such a massive move that the stock exchange halts it, suspends it, actually, not just a halt, it's a suspension, and they're doing like an investigation into the stock, why it was so volatile. I had never seen that before, and there's going to be an important lesson at the end of this, if you do trade. Hello, Patrick. Good morning, Jason. What was I going to say? A T12 halt like I said, they're doing an investigation. And what happened with the stock that I was in, it was a ticker called INHD, which I think is still trading now. I don't think I would ever trade that stock again just because of what happened to me. But basically, when a stock is too volatile, they'll do this investigation, and INHD got caught in this suspension, and it was suspended for, I think it was like 3 months. So I had money that was in that stock. And also, hold on, I'm hot. I need a fan. Also, the problem with when that does happen is you run the risk of the entire stock getting delisted, which means you just lose all your money. So this stock halted, a T12 halt, which means they're doing an investigation. Luckily, it opened back up and I got most of my money back, which was, I wasn't expecting, to be honest. So I thought the money was gone. So the lesson here is, if you see a stock halting multiple times, I would suggest you stay away, because this can happen at any time for no reason. So, you've been warned. Trading stocks that are in active halts is risky anyways, because when a stock halts up, it can easily halt down afterwards, and it's very difficult to get in and out. You have to wait for the stock to open, and then there's a bunch of orders going through. So it can be very difficult to get in and out of stocks when they've been halted. However, you can make a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie to you, PLAG, I thought it was going to go into a T12 halt, and I thought, that's it, I'm done. But then it opened back up and I made like $300. So, but it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk once you see the halts coming. Once a stock starts halting multiple times, I think it's best to just stay away. VBIO is really moving. I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked up, and I think it just halted anyways. Speaking of halts, I guess it heard me. So that is my lesson to you for the day. If you like to trade stocks, stay away from stocks that are halting, because it could get suspended and then possibly even delisted, and then you lose all your money. I know, because, well, the stock didn't get delisted, but, and I didn't lose all my money, but it could have happened that way. It could have gone that way. Very scary. So, trading stocks is risky, in case you didn't know it. I'm here to tell you. Let me just put a little war paint on. There. Where's my blender? Ooh. OFAL also just halted. Words are hard. Hello, Justo from Argentina. RMCF is dipping down at the moment. I'm hoping this is just like an after market opens dip, and then it'll go back up. We'll see what happens. OFAL, if you recall, is moving because it is in a current short squeeze. If you don't know what a short squeeze is, I can explain it. Why not? I'm going full nerd today. We'll just keep nerding out. ZTG popped up on my scanner. Zenta Group, okay. $10.98 stock. You know I like the cheap crap. Voxel. Let's see what's going on with that one. Oops. And then maybe I'll blend in the brown shit on my face. Oh. $5.36. Oops. This one was moving in after hours yesterday too. Let me pull it up. I don't remember what it was all about. Voxelite Corporation. Yesterday news at 5:45, it announced an initial closing of 7.5 million Series D convertible preferred stock private placement. So that's like, I believe, Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything. I think that means that they did like a private offering, which means that they're raising capital for the company, which is usually a good thing. Now, there's another type of offering, which is a bad thing and will cause the stock to go down. Oh, it's based in Duluth, Georgia. Boxel. 0.56 million share float, which is very small. Very small float stocks are very volatile. That's why we like them. And some people don't. 4.72% short float. Okay. OFAL is going to open back up at 9:41 and 2 seconds. Hello, Bobby. Andrew wants the definition of a short squeeze. A short squeeze happens when there are a large number of people who are trying to short the stock. If you don't know what shorting is, I'll just explain very briefly a simple definition. So when you buy a stock and then you sell it, that's called going long. Going short is the opposite. That means that you are borrowing shares and selling them, and then you buy them back later. So you're predicting that the stock is going to go down. So you have to borrow shares and then sell them. No, borrow shares, sell them, and then you buy them back later. That's what shorting is. So short squeezes happen when there's lots of people short on the stock. They think the stock's going to go down, and then they get liquidated essentially, and then the stock shoots up. So if you're long on a short squeeze, then you make a lot of money. Bobby says, hey, please, can I send? Hey, please, can I send? Go ahead then, stop talking and do it. Hello, Ed. Who do you borrow them from? You borrow them from the exchange that you're on, the broker. So this is one area where Webull is not good. It is very difficult to short stocks on Webull. Most of the time when I go to try to short stocks on Webull, I have shorted like a couple times on Webull, but most of the time when I go to borrow stocks on Webull, there's not enough shares available. So the brokerage has to like buy the shares and have them available. You can also locate shorts, which I've never done before. I don't really know how that works. I hear somebody was saying that Trade Zero is a better platform to short stocks on. I'm planning on opening an account on there at some point. I haven't gotten around to it. Bobby, if you'd like to spin the wheel, it is a $5 super chat. I also have a dartboard. Same deal. These are tribute amounts on the wheel. So if you pay $5 to spin the wheel, then you are expected to send the according tribute when you land on the amount. There's also other little things on there that aren't tribute amounts, but it just depends on where you land. So $5 super chat to spin the wheel or throw at the dartboard. I like the dartboard. So that's that. Where was I? Makeup. Oh yes. OFAL might be opening. No. It should have opened already. No, wait. 4, 5. Yeah, I think it should have opened already. So I guess OFAL is a 10-minute halt then? Yes. I am currently watching RMCF and PLAG and BOXL. I have other stocks that have popped up on my scanner. Boxel's got some high volume red candles. I don't know if I like that. Nick says, am I thinking vacation? What? What does that mean? What are you talking about? Trendamentals is in the house, and he says, I like Webull for charting and watch lists. There you have it. I have a hard time keeping up with watch lists. I just use my scanner. Dragon says he's sad that he missed breakfast. He likes to watch me eat. Yes. All right. Well, Put a little blush on. The other issue I've heard with Weeble is sometimes orders have a hard time getting filled. I'm trying to think what the situation is for that usually though. I haven't had too much of an issue with that. It's mostly the, like if I ever want to try to go short something on Weeble, that's when I have a problem. Oh, there's times where Weeble, there's times where stocks are not tradable on Weeble. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but they might be, you might be able to trade them on other platforms, but they're not tradable on Weeble. It doesn't happen that often, but that is something that happens sometimes. That's what I was thinking of. Now I remember. Andrew, you're fine. All right, RMCF moving up in the world. I think it just halted. Well then. Well then. So we're looking at OFAL to open back up at 946. I'm waiting for RMCF to say that it's halted. Level 2 looks like it's halted, but I don't see the halt. Oh, there it is. Now it showed up on the NASDAQ halt list. It is halted, suspended for volatility. As long as it's not a stupid T12 halt, that's all I care about. Fuck a T12 halt. That's all I gotta say. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know why I traded PLAG. This really had the big move yesterday. Did I really think it was going to move today? Probably not, but you never know. Sometimes things have a 2-day run. Probably not like this though. I mean, you know, it did go to almost $7 yesterday. Now it's at $1.28. I'll hold it a little while longer to see if it comes around. Paxton's wondering if I have coffee or tea this morning. I do have tea. And he says, picture a little diapered assistant walking around getting you stuff. Well, you don't, at 6'3", I would not say that you are little. I think we can confirm that a 6'3" man is not little. Although you like to think of yourself as little, don't you? Yes. YouTube is so weird. The number of viewers just dropped down to... Why is my bra all lumpy? Oh, this pad's all folded, that's why. There we go. We just dropped on to like 8 people randomly. So annoying. Oh, did OFAL opened back up and I was not paying attention and it halted again. But thankfully it halted up. That would not have been good if it halted down. I think it halted again. Or am I imagining things? No, it did. Okay. I got distracted for a moment and I missed it. Paxton says big diaper assistant doesn't sound as good. You're right, it doesn't. Oh, okay. Andrew says the stream glitched and lost signal. Well, that's annoying, but nothing I can do, I imagine. ZTG, I'm just gonna read all the stuff that's on my scanner right now. I'm watching too many stocks to look them all up, but if you... There's a hair on my tongue. If you want to go look it up, you can. I've got BIVI, B as in boy, I, V as in Victor, I. GAUZ, GAUZ, GCDT, VBIO, and ZTG. Bobby just sent a $2.70 USD super chat. I see you. Paxton says, I'm like so good at little chores around the house, especially when diaper motivated. Interesting. Is that how your girlfriend gets you to clean the house? She just slaps the diaper on you and you go to work, or what? She slaps the diaper on you and gives you a list of chores and you do whatever she tells you to? Interesting. I feel like I could have used some caffeine today, to be honest. But, you know, I try to do no caffeine during the week. You know what I just thought of would be kind of fun? Paxton, if you're so desperate to be the next interviewee or the most recent interviewee, this is just an idea. I'm just going to throw it out there. We could do a follow-up interview with you and your girlfriend. What about that? That would be interesting. I am behind with interviews. I've put out a few emails to people to do interviews, waiting to hear back. So I probably should have just taken advantage of them, and not taken advantage of them, but done the interviews before I left for the, hold on one second. RMCF just opened up, and did it also just halt back up? It's going to be one of those days, is it? We're just going to halt all day? Rude. What's up, Taj? He says, what up, my heart? Mark says, and what? Mark, what are you talking about? Paxton says, that's an interesting idea. Well, you just ask her. If she's interested, I'm down. That'd be kind of fun. DOGZ dogs just popped up on my scanner. Dogness International. I just like the name, but it looks boring when I pulled up. Looks kind of boring. Hello, Chal. Chal. Bobby says, please, can I have the money? What the fuck are you talking about? That's not how it works, my friend. It's the other way around. I really would love some chapstick. I have everything in here but chapstick. Well, surely. Nope, there's nothing. It's like a barren desert with no chapstick. What the fuck? Well, then we'll just have to do this instead. So I think I am going to go for a swim today. I've decided. Ooh, dogs is moving. What's up, dogs? I really didn't mean to say it like that. It sounded kind of weird. Let me pull up the chart and the info. Let's just take a look. Ooh, that's an interesting chart. 15-minute chart on DOG. It had a pre-market high of 234, currently at 132, but had a massive pullback all the way down to $1.03, which is not good. So sometimes these like to bounce off the bottom VWAP band and then die off. That's possible what might happen here. DOGZ. Anytime you have a massive move on a stock, sorry, my nostril itches. A massive move on a stock, and then it has not even a pullback, like it drops all the way back down, then the chances that it goes back up are pretty slim. I mean, it does happen, but it's pretty not likely to happen because you've had a lot of people, you have a lot of people trying to get out of the stock with money. DOGZ, dogs, doesn't have any significant news. It just says retail trader buzz and momentum scanning drive the 61% pre-market surge, and it is a Chinese stock, so risky. 4.25 million share float, 0.6% short float. I feel like a lot of times the short float doesn't mean shit because you have people naked shorting so much these days that doesn't really even matter what I read on the short float because sometimes it still gets shorted. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean. Maybe you do. Let's look at halts. I mean, DOGZ is moving. The level 2 doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible. I just don't trust it since it had that massive drop down. We call it a Christmas tree. when it's green on the way up, you've got all these green candles and then red candles all the way down. It looks like a Christmas tree. Not really, but you know, that's what they say. RMCF. I don't know if this is a 5 or 10 minute halt. If it's a 5-minute halt, it will open in 1 minute. If it's a 10-minute halt, it'll be 6 minutes. OFAL, 9:46 was the last halt. It did not open at 9:51, so this is a 10-minute halt or 15-minute halt. 9:56, so 3 more minutes on that one. 3 more minutes on OFAL. RMCF, I'm watching in a few seconds, right? Yeah, in like 15 seconds, we'll see if it opens back up. Let me pull up that chart so I can be prepared. Oops. RMCF. Rocky Mountain Chocolate. I like it because it's chocolate. I really like the stock because I've never had Rocky Mountain chocolate, but now I want it. You know? Andrew is interested in hearing the interview with Paxton and his girlfriend. The co-interview. I haven't done an interview with 2 people before. Okay, RMCF just opened back up. Huh? Are you shitting me? I think it just halted right away. It didn't even close my order. It just halted again. Yeah. Uh-oh. So that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm up 20%, but I can't get out because it just keeps halting. I hate halts, for the record. Chal says, what are these interviews you are referring to? Well, if you go on my channel, you will see that I have a whole playlist called interviews where I interview submissives. I'd also like to start interviewing doms, but I'm still in the process of setting those up. I primarily prefer to interview financial submissives. My first interview I ever did was a financial submissive, and then I realized after the interview that it didn't record the interview. So that was never posted anywhere because it doesn't exist. It happened, but it doesn't exist. So I have lots of other submissive interviews on my channel. That is what the interview is. Gulshan says, teach me how to trade. Who the fuck are you? And why the fuck do you think you're entitled to me teaching you how to trade? Weird. You know what? If you want to learn how to trade, then you will take the time to watch every video on my Day Trading for Beginners playlist and go learn by yourself. That is literally why I created the playlist. I am not going to sit here and explain to you every detail of trading. That's not my job. I am here in the mornings to talk about what I'm trading. Hold on. Did something open up? I wasn't paying attention. You're distracting me. OFAL, did it open up and halt again? Let me see. Or am I imagining things? 56 and 18 seconds. 56. It might have. Let me reload. I don't think it did. Oh yes, it did. I was not imagining things. OFAL just opened up for, I don't know, 1/10 of a second and then immediately halted down. Annoying. Gulshan says, I am so arrogant. Well, I am a Dominatrix, so I don't know what you expected from a Dominatrix. Maybe you expected a nice, pleasant person who's always smiling. And if that's what you're looking for, then you are on the wrong channel. You're just on the wrong channel. And being blunt and assertive is different than being arrogant, for the record. What's for T says, what's the first bit of advice? For what? First bit of advice for what? Trading? What's the question? I think it's funny that Gulshan says that I'm arrogant after he expected me to teach him how to trade. Am I arrogant or are you entitled? Is my question. Just a thought. Dragon says he's infatuated with me. I know you are. I know you are. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Okay, let's do a poll. Type an I in the chat if you are infatuated with me. And all you other fuckers can say I'm arrogant or conceited or whatever. I'm not. I'm just curious to know how many submissive men are in the chat. Or not even submissive and just infatuated. I'm just curious. We have What's for Tea, Dragon Balls, Cheddar Goblin. Good morning to you. I don't think I've ever seen... I would have remembered a name like Cheddar Goblin. Dragon Ball has put I in the chat like 5 times. He wants everybody to know that he is infatuated with me. Logan and Daniel. Nope. Daniel said, I am a man. And Retro says, I know beta man. Well, you talk like a caveman, so I guess you've got that going for you. I know beta man. Like, what the fuck? Oh my goodness, you guys are funny today. Silly boys. Look how long my hair is getting. I want it down, let's see. We've got like, I think 2 more inches before we get to my butt crack. That's the goal. Oh, shit. RMCF opened up and halted down. The fuck? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We were 7 cents away from my order. And you couldn't just fill the fucking order. You had to halt down like that, did you? Rude. That's what that is. That's fucking rude. DOGZ. Still moving up. It had a little pullback and it moved up. I'm not trading it. I'm just letting you know if you want to trade it. I already told you about it. I'm in a bunch of shit that's halted and another shit that's not moving. So, such is life. Good morning, deuces. Ew. Hold on, let me read this chat. Cheddar Goblin says, everyone catching strays. Is this some kind of trendy lingo I'm not aware of? I don't know what that fucking means. And Retro says, better strays than STDs. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, to be honest with you. If you're trying to insult me or yourselves, I'm not really sure. Yeah, Andrew doesn't know what the fuck you mean either. Aces says, do I have fucking subscriber mode on? Yes, and I'm still getting weirdos? Cheddar Goblin says it's a stupid lingo. Okay. Well, doesn't make any sense to me. For my old brain. Aces says, or Ace Samuel, I should say, who are you? I'm Goddess Fiore, duh. Who the fuck are you? Hello, Viole. Nobody knows what strays means. Does he mean stray bullets or stray dogs? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Talanko says married yet with an exclamation point. He sounds excited. Maybe he meant to put a question mark, but he put an exclamation point instead is what I'm guessing. Ace says, geez, why so aggressive? I don't think I'm being aggressive. Paxton says, you look nice today, by the way. Thanks, Paxton. I would say you too, but I can't see you. But I think Paxton needs to share with the class whether he has a diaper on right now. Paxton. Are you contained? Or are you just running free? What are the props in the background for? Well, I have a wheel that can be spun. I have a dartboard that can be thrown at. It is a $5 super chat if you would like to play either game. Let me check the halt list here. I need to know when these are opening back up. Because I guess it's time to get the hell out since we're halting down. We don't like halt downs. Halts down. Whatever. RMCF. This could be a 10-minute halt. If it's a 5-minute halt, it'll open at 10:04 and 40 seconds. So approximately 1 minute. That's RMCF. OFAL. Is a 10-minute halt or more. So 10:06. We've got 3 minutes on the OFAL and whatever I said on the RMCF. It should be opening up any second, actually. RMCF. I might need to adjust my sell order. We'll see what happens here. I hope it opens and then halts up again. Actually, I don't hope it halts again. I hope it opens and then just stays nice and goes up steadily. That's what I hope. Fingers crossed. BG. That's all you get is an eyebrow raise. Okay, it just opened. Crap, it's gonna halt down again, I can tell. Fuck. Okay, it dipped. It's holding. It's thinking. Watching RMCF like a hawk. Okay. So far, so good. It's just hanging out. It's not getting too volatile yet. I need to plug my phone in. We'll wait. And then we have 1 more minute before OFAL opens. I am watching RMCF like a hawk. Oh my goodness, there's a 100,000 share seller and they just disappeared. That's fantastic. I like that. Goodbye, 100,000 share wall. 163, 164. I would like to see it get back up to 215 again. That would be nice. Let me pull up the chart. 5-minute chart. That's what I want. All right, so we're just watching RMCF to see what happens here. OFAL maybe opening back up in a moment. We'll be watching that. Just a reminder that I am day trading at the moment, so I'm obviously watching the charts, but I do check the chat periodically. You can always accompany your chat with a super chat if you're desperate for my attention. And I do have 0 tolerance for inappropriate comments in this chat room. So if you're saying something inappropriate, I'm not going to read your comment out loud and I'm just going to ban you from speaking. Am I shorting anything? No. I rarely short. I would like to find a better trading platform to short on. I talked about this earlier, but I would trade on Webull and it's not good for shorting. So I was thinking about checking out, what did I say it was? Trade Zero. I hear is better for shorting. Are you shorting, Mr. Big Monk, whatever? All right, OFAL did not open back up. Let's see. So I'm guessing we're on a 15-minute halt. Lame. That's what that is. Fucking lame. And I'm kind of surprised it halted down since it is a short squeeze. I would have thought that this stock would have kept halting up, but you know, Halts are unpredictable. They just are. Hello, Anthony. What am I trading? Stocks, yes. The random four letters I'm calling out are stock tickers. I'm currently watching RMCF, which has been halted a couple times. It is not halted right now, so I want to know what's going to happen. Gosh, I just pulled up the chart for PLAG again. That, God, that drop. This one 15-minute candle is a 45% drop. That was insane yesterday. That was crazy. There's been some crazy halts in the last week. There's been a couple stocks that have, I don't remember exactly what the numbers were, but have gone from like $1 to like $10. Just crazy stuff lately. It's been very interesting. All right, let me close this position. I don't like it. I don't like it. It is not making me happy, so we get rid of it. Confirm. All right. I have a lot of stuff on the scanner right now, but my attention is currently consumed with RMCF, waiting for OFAL to open. So I don't want to get involved in anything else until those two trades are done. There. RMCF is holding right now. It looks like it's starting to go back up a little bit. Let's see, 169. Let's get over 170 or not. And then we might see another move up. OFAL, if we are on a 15-minute halt, it would be 10, 11, and 33 seconds when it'll open. If it's 15 minutes, who knows? This is a short squeeze, right? I'm up 28% on OFAL. So what did I say? 10, 11. Let me get one of the, so I can see the time here. There we go, 31 seconds. So maybe about a minute. We'll see if it opens back up. Watching RMCF. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, President, whatever. You're not making any sense, so I'm putting you in timeout. If you'd like to come back and act like a normal human being, then you're welcome to participate in the chat. Otherwise, you can go away. Paxton says, dumb question, but you don't work from home, right? Like, do you ever go into anywhere? I should know by now, sorry. I do work part-time doing my healthcare job. I don't think I have any patients this week. I am trying to transition out of it. So in that case, I would be working entirely from home between day trading and financial domination. But, you know, obviously I didn't work for a whole month doing my part-time job while I was traveling. When I do that work, I go into facilities and people's homes. That's what I do. And I'm not a huge fan of doing it this time of year because it is really freaking hot outside. It's like over 90 degrees every day this week. So, but as far as I know, there's no hurricanes on the, oh shit. OFAL did just open back up. Did it halt again? Yeah, that was fast. Was not paying attention. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. All right, I need to find my charger. Let's see, that'll work. Oops, wrong end. There we go. That's better. Ah, don't fall. Oh. RMCF just opened. Or no, maybe that was already open. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, never mind. I'm just so used to everything halting this morning. RMCF watching had a little bit of a drop. Let's see if it'll recover. This chart looks disastrous. Really not impressed with this chart at all. It's just true. Okay, well, I think it might be time. We haven't done this in a long time. It might be time for a little sock action. Hold on, let me read comments and then we will do a sock reveal. While I'm reading comments, you can put your guess in the chat. Am I wearing ankle socks, crew socks, slouch socks? And what color are they? Put your guess in the chat and we will do a sock reveal in a moment. Anik wants to date me? No. Andrew says, I said to not fall and he almost fell. That's the opposite of what I told you to do then. So, you need to listen. Mother effer. RMCF, did this just halt down? Okay. It is now time for me to make my way out of the stock. I would say a good stop loss on this one is 145 and it's at 147. I don't like it at all. How much am I making? Well, it varies by the minute. Okay. Two. Big Monk, I don't really know what your comment means. He says, truth be told, I'm interested in day trading, but it feels like you have to a bit on the ball. It's like the guys who manage their super. They're kind of on a different, okay. Violet says, is Mo the correct spelling? Yes, that is correct. Talon just saw my 9-inch heels. And? Okay, let's see what we have here. Paxton's thinking I have white ankle socks. Ace says ankle socks. Uncle Lulu, interesting name, says low cut white. Ace says black ankle. What the fuck does that even mean? You like leg on shoulder? What? Big Monk thinks I look like a Nike gray ankle sock. He even guessed the brand. Violet's got some things to do. Anonymous is getting banned from the chat for inappropriate comments. Andrew says gray slouch. And Paxton says baby booties. Interesting. Some interesting guesses there. I'm going to have to go with the closest was Ace. No, I'm sorry. Lulu, who said low cut and white. Because they're not quite ankle socks and they're not quite crew socks. And they've got a pattern on them, actually. I've got patterned socks on. I call these my gardening socks. I've shown them to you once before. So let me show. So, you know what I mean? They're not ankle socks, per se. But they're also not crew socks. They're like in between. They're low cut. And there's like pots of flowers on there. So that's why I call them my gardening socks. I don't actually garden in the socks. There. The stool did not want to roll. OFAL. Where are we? I'm going to move this right there. Yes. OFAL. How many shares do I have? Limit price to passive. Weird. Okay. What? I don't know what's going to happen with that. Our OFAL. 5, 10. If this is a 10-minute halt, we will open back up at 10:21 and 49 seconds. RMCF and OFAL just been halting left and right. You know what? I'm ready to get the hell out of both. I was up on RMCF and now I'm down, which I'm not happy about. But that's what happens when you have multiple fucking halts. This is why I hate halts. I hate them. PLAG is dumping like a turd. Yeah, we want to get out of that one. Hold on. No? There. Okay. Now, let's take a look and see if anything else is moving. I feel like I should probably give up for today because it's been a shit day when it comes to trading. I warned you it was going to be bad. Anik, this is your final warning. I'm not going to date you. Stop asking me if I'm going to date you in the chat, or you're going to be banned from the channel. I have no interest in dating you. RMCF just opened back up, and I got out. No. Oh, I thought that was my whole position, but it wasn't. Oh, and now it's going back up. Fucking figures. Confirm. There. Now I'm out. I say F that. That's what I say. I don't like it. Where were we? Okay. I guess you want to be put in timeout. Anik is in timeout. If he comes back and he still is talking about dating me, he's going to be banned from the channel. I don't want to hear it. I'm not interested. Dragon says, thank you for being amazing. And Ace says, want to guess what I'm eating for breakfast? Not really. Waffle, pancake, or eggs? Maybe all three. OFAL. Oh, RMCF just halted up now. Right? Yes, RMCF halted up. Level 2 looks terrible. So I'm out of it for a loss because it's halting and I just wanted to get the hell out. If it's stabilized, no. Usually when stocks stabilize after they halt so many times, then they don't do anything. So I'm probably done with that. Jurgen, I'm going to call you Jurgens, says, I said hello. I asked a kind question. I got no reaction. My last warning before I ban myself from this channel. Well, you can go ahead and leave because you are never entitled to my attention or time. I don't know who you are or who you think you are, but I don't know who you are. You've never been on my channel before. But nobody on this channel is entitled to my time or attention for free. No man is no person is entitled to my attention for free. You can always accompany your comment with a super chat if you're so desperate for my attention. Obviously, I'm day trading and I don't see every comment on the channel. Paxton says, and clearly you owe him a reaction. Yeah, right. Yeah, I hate entitled men. Not just men. I hate entitled people, children, adults, whatever. Like, you are not entitled to anything. And certainly not my attention. Retro says, hordes of betas in the chat. Well, no shit. You are literally on the channel of a dominatrix, so I don't know why you would expect anything but submissives and betas in the chat. Paxton says, I'm not entitled, but boy, am I needy. Yes, we all know. We all know exactly how needy Paxton is. Okay, he thinks he's funny. Goodbye. All right, so waiting for OFAL to open back up. John says, what about Boxel? Let's take a look. I was trading Boxel yesterday. Now that I'm not an RMCF, I don't really have to worry about and pay attention to that as much. It was very kind of hard to pay attention to two stocks that are halted because I have to wait for them to open every few freaking minutes. But let's take a look at Boxel. Let's see what it's doing now. This was moving yesterday in after hours. Yes, it was. Look at that. And whew, 4 a.m. this morning, 36% move from 413 to 637. Had a nice little green spike right when the market opened just now from 454 to 549. Boxel, hold on. Boxlight Corporation is the name of the company. It had news yesterday at 5:45 that it announced an initial closing. I talked about this earlier. It had a 7.5 million Series D convertible preferred stock private placement, which is good news. Means that people are investing in the stock, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. 0.56 million share float, 4.72% short float, based in Duluth, Georgia. Yes, I read all that earlier. I remember now. So I would be looking at, look, it's holding a nice solid support at around 430. I'm not in this, but if I was, I would have a stop loss of 425. It's below VWAP, so I can't say that I would get into this stock right now. It had some really nice green volume at the open, but it's kind of just like consolidating right now, and it did have some pretty nasty drops in pre-market. It had this one really nasty red candle that I don't like. So I mean, it's got potential, but I don't like that it had this one particular big red candle in pre-market is not nice. And it tried to get over VWAP when the market opened, and it got rejected. So that's not a good sign. So I would say if you're gonna take a trade in this, I would wait for it to get over VWAP. If you're in it, I would say a stop loss of 425. And if you are gonna close a position, I would look to close a position at VWAP, which is 546. But I don't think it looks that great at the moment. Things could change later on, but I would say I'm not a fan. Gabriel says, I'm from England and sorry you have to deal with creeps like that in the chat. That shit don't sit right with me. Well, look, I'm actually quite used to it. It definitely bothered me when I first started streaming. And I think the people that have followed me for a while could probably tell on the days where it was really getting to me, but I don't really think it gets to me anymore. I think I'm kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just used to it. So it doesn't bother me. And I know and I knew this then, and I know it now, but like people like that, they obviously have problems. And I feel sorry for them. A lot of people don't feel sorry for them, but I do, because to have the mental state to have nothing better to do than to go around in live streams and either say inappropriate comments to get a reaction or say just really hateful or rude shit to someone to get a reaction says a lot about someone, and not in a good way. And it makes me feel sorry for them that they have nothing else to do. So that's where I'm at. It doesn't faze me. I try to give them as little attention as possible. Honestly, if I was better at the internet, I was talked about this yesterday. Shit, I should have got out of OFAL, but I didn't. And it halted again. I talked about this yesterday, but I do appreciate that I see more creators like calling out trolls. There's one girl on YouTube that has been like posting photos of them and like personal information, because I feel like you should, yeah, we have freedom of speech and you should be responsible for the shit that you say. So if you're bold enough to say some bullshit, rude comment to somebody online, then how about we send that shit to your employer? You know what I mean? Or your family, so that they can see what you're saying online to people and what a piece of shit you really are. So that's kind of where I'm at. But, you know, you got to be, on the other hand, you have to be careful about doing that, because there are lots of crazy people on the internet, and I just don't want to, I just don't want that drama in my life. So most of the time I don't address it. But I am very glad that other people are calling trolls out more. I've seen a couple creators recently doing that. And I'm glad that they're doing that. I think that needs to be done more, to be honest with you. I don't think people should be allowed to get away with some of the shit that they say online. It's pretty abhorrent. John says, I used to work for AMTD. I can't tell you how many guys I had to write up for harassment. I'm not surprised. It also, the other thing I want to add about that is that it makes me extremely sad, in the sense that, like, that's where our society is today, that people think it's okay to, one, even be thinking shit like that, but then to be saying it out loud and trying to bring down other people to the level that some people do is really, it's disturbing. It's really sad. I'm sad that your parents failed you, because they obviously didn't raise you properly, because my parents raised me to, if I don't have something nice to say, just don't fucking say anything at all. But I guess some people weren't raised correctly. So, you know, I feel sorry for them. Like I said, I wish people had better things to do with their lives. And you know what? I pray for them. I hope God helps you realize that you are not doing anything good with your life, and, you know, that you're in a very bad mental state if you have the need to do that. Anik says, I'm creepy, but good people. I got nothing. Andrew says, my parents raised me to just be quiet. Exactly. Ace says, do you think your type of work, the work you do people think they can talk to you like that? It's not just the type of work I do. Okay, so I've talked about this many times before. I've been a pole dancer for 17 years. So I pole danced for 10 years before I even worked in clubs. I did work in clubs for about 5 years. So here's the thing. People have been treating me fucking rude since I started posting online about pole dancing. And I have, you know, a lot of guys think that women post for attention and that kind of thing. I don't give a fuck what men think, okay? I post pole dancing because I enjoy it. It's something I'm very passionate about, that I've done for a long time. It's very hard. So I'm proud of myself when I can do certain things and when I can accomplish certain things. And it also makes me feel good about my body. So it has nothing to do with attention from men. I don't give a shit about that. A lot of people get confused about that. And a lot of men think that women care about what they think. Most women don't give a shit what you think. We really don't. And any woman watching this, you shouldn't care what men think. The only opinion that should matter is your own, in my opinion. But the question was, what was the question? In my line of work, do people think they can talk to me like that? Generally speaking, because I am a dominatrix now, most of the men speaking to me are submissive men, so they know better than to talk to me like that. That's one of the things I enjoy about being a dominatrix, is I can be my genuine self. Like, I have never been the type of girl that's gonna be like, hey baby, like try to talk to a guy like that. Fuck no. That's not how I talk. That's not how I interact with men. So most men who interact with me know they can't speak to me like that. And other ones who try find out real quick. But it is disgusting the way that men think that they can talk to women sometimes. For sure. Especially these days. Paxton's back. Gabriel says, you handle shit way better than I do. I get anxiety and harassment, which just makes it harder for me to handle and be hesitant to be social because of it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, I mean, look, I have a certain level of anxiety for sure. I do tend to be a little bit of an anxious person sometimes, which a lot of times I don't think you'd be able to tell. I kind of like suppress a lot of my anxiety. Hold on, OFAL could be opening up in a minute. If not, then 6 minutes, we'll find out. I need to lower my sell price so I can get the hell out. Wait, first, let me make sure that this is for the full amount. Yes, it is. Okay, let's lower this. Shut up. This right here. There we go. It won't let me lower my sell order. Very weird. Okay, well, hopefully I can do it when it opens. I doubt I will, though. Look, I still think the best way to handle trolls for the most part is to not acknowledge them or give them any air whatsoever. However, I am a little, what's the word? Fiery. Sometimes I can't help myself. And I want to respond to the shit that they say. But that's what they're looking for. That's what they want, is attention, because they're so desperate for attention. I guess nobody gives them any attention. So again, that's why I feel sorry for them. If you are, trying to antagonize me or poke the bear, as they say, then you're clearly so desperate for attention that you have to go online and try to piss people off to get attention. And that's very pathetic. Bobby says, can I please spin the wheel? It is a $5 super chat if you'd like to spin the wheel or throw a dart at the dartboard. That's how that works. Hello, Tejas? That's a hard one. Gabriel says, sometimes I feel ashamed to be a guy because of creeps like that. No. If that's not how you are, why would you, I mean, I guess I kind of understand what you're saying, because people do make assumptions, and like women do make assumptions, people make assumptions about certain races, whatever. But the fact is, like, you just have to remember, I mentioned this yesterday when I was talking about dating and how much dating fucking sucks these days. I know that not all men are shit. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say all men are shit, because I know there's probably some good ones out there. I just don't know where the fuck they are. So, you can't just make assumptions about every person just because the majority of people or some people are a certain way. But I understand what you're saying. I don't blame you. All right, I guess we are on a 10-minute halt for OFAL. 10:37 and 29 seconds is when we will open back up, hopefully. Bobby just sent a little over $5 USD super chat. I see you, Mr. Bobby. Wait, were you the one that wanted to spin the wheel? Yes, you did. So we shall. All right, wheel spin. Here we go. We spin. Oh. You landed on a dart. Yay, I like to throw the darts. That's what I like to do. We're gonna throw the darts, but hold on. We have 1 minute until OFAL opens. We're gonna use a ball. I'm gonna stand all the way back here, since some people complain that I stand too close. So I'm gonna stand even behind the rug. Oh wait, let me take these balls off. Now, I've warned you, I'm pretty good at this. You guys spoke too soon. It bounced off, so I don't know. Do I throw again? Or that's it? I could go either way. Chat? Again? Or no? I'll leave it up to you. While I wait for OFAL to open back up and try to get the fuck out of it. Here we go. Holy crap. Oh my God. Couldn't get out. This is bad. This is real bad. It dropped. Dang. What can you do? Yeah, it's up to Bobby. Throw again, he says. Okay, I wanted to be fair. Here we go. Ah! Okay. Let's see. All right. It's red on the line. Oops, you can't see it. I don't think I can call that. 60 or 90, or maybe we just get in between. 90 minus 60 is 30, so 75. So, oops, that's what I'm gonna go with. $75 tribute. It's optional. If I was using true findom math, I would have just rounded up to $90. So, you're lucky I'm nice. Oops. Hello, guard. All right, that's it. I'm done with Anik. You're asking too many annoying questions. I've had it with you. I've had it. Tommy says, holy shit, I look like Maggie Sif. I am well aware. I get that at least once a day. Hello, Joshua. Welcome. I feel like I have a little bit less brows. Maggie Sif is real heavy on the brows. You know what I mean? She's got some pretty intense brows. All right. Is there anything else worth looking at? I don't know. I've been distracted. BIVI. Let me pull that up. Oops. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Let me pull up the big chart. BIVI. BV. Oh, this does look nice. This looks pretty nice. Let me get some info. BIVI. BIVI. It's pulling back right now. Oh, it had 10 a.m. news today. Investor webinar on positive phase 2 Parkinson's data is what's driving the surge. This is a 7.19 million share float, 11.13% short float, based in Nevada. I like all that. Let's look at some previous levels here. Well, I shouldn't say I like all that. I don't like the short float of 11%. That's quite high. Good morning, Magooch. Oh, okay. We've got a massive gap to fill on BV, up to like $6.34. So 11% short float, but massive gap to fill. I don't know. Are there any traders in the chat? Are you looking at this? What do you think? 5-minute chart looks good. We had a nice high volume green candle there. 15-minute chart also looks good. I'd like to see the 15-minute chart close above 353. I think I'll take a small position in Mr. BV. BV. Beeve. We'll do that much. Confirm. Oh shit, it's moving. Did I miss my chance? Holy shit, it's shooting up. Damn it. I should have done my hotkey. I'm too fast, or I'm too slow. There, now I got a little fill. It is looking pretty good, I must say. A lot better than the other crap this morning. I think I'm gonna buy a couple dips on this too. We got a dip right now. Oops. Confirm. Let's see if that fills. All right, so I like BV. BQ is also on the scanner. BQ, okay, my second order just filled. Now let's go to the moon. Moon time. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was about to say. BQ, I don't know about that. It's a big red candle. Oh my God. EXYN is another one. How long have I been trading? I got interested initially in crypto in 2020. I've been trading stocks for probably like 3 or 4 years. BIV is now having a major pullback. Figures because I just got in it. WTF. I guess there's that 11% short float kicking in. ZJYL just popped up on my scanner. I feel like shorts are real heavy today. They are thick in it today. Take back is back like he never left. Okay. ZJYL is not moving at all. I don't like that 15-minute candle on BIVI. That looks like a change of direction candle. Not good. Motherfucker. Let me look at the 5-minute chart. Eesh. Yeah, let's see if it holds VWAP at 303. Let's see if it holds. And what else do we have? LPSN socket is back on the scanner. This one was moving like crazy the other day. So I'm trying to see if BIV not holding VWAP. Fuck. Damn it. All right, you know what? We're out. It's dipping too much from me. I don't like it. Taking a loss on BV. I mean, it could still close above VWAP. It could be dipping and then closing above VWAP. Maybe I'll hold off on taking the loss right now because we did still have that high volume green candle. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes to see if it closes above VWAP. That's my final answer. Hello, Nick. Ender says, not being too nosy, yet the day trade makes enough to pay the bills. Seriously asking, I don't know how much people make at this. Everybody's different. It depends on how big of shares you're taking, how much money you have to day trade with. Everybody's different. Socket is moving up. I would be curious what the short float is on Socket. Socket, and then I'm going to check and see when OFAL is opening back up. Okay. It says only 0.99% short float on Socket, but it did have a gigantic move what was it, yesterday? OFAL just opened back up and my order filled, so I'm out of that one. Thank God. And I'm very disappointed because it was, oh my goodness, socket is really going up like a rocket. Okay. I'm surprised it hasn't halted yet. A little hesitant to buy a socket right now because it's up so high. But I do still have my trend line that I drew on the previous chart, and I don't know if it could go all the way up to this, but it's possible. Socket might be worth a look, but I want to pull back first. And I'm still waiting to see the 5-minute candle on BIVI. We've got 1 minute and 13 seconds left to see if it closes above 303. ONDS, let me look. But to answer your question, Andrew, if you are good at trading, you can make a shit ton of money. Just go look at Ross Cameron's channel. The guy makes millions of dollars. So, in a very short, relatively short period of time. What was I looking at? Oh, ONDS, is that what you said? Yes, ONDS. Ondas. So first I pull up the 1-minute chart. 993. Level 2 does not look that great. There are a lot of sellers on level 2. There's also a lot of buyers though, but there's some large sellers. 16,000, 10,000, 14,000, 26,000 share sellers on the level 2. So I don't like that right off the bat. ONDS. It had news yesterday at 8:30. It won a multi-million-dollar Israeli Ministry of Defense tender for next generation low-cost tactical attack drones. So I think that's very good news. However, it is a 522 million share float, which is very large for me. I'm a low float trader. So I would personally not, I shouldn't say I never trade stocks with high floats. It's just, they have to be moving pretty significantly. And this one may not be moving enough. And then the other thing I would be wary of is this has a 44.94% short float, which is very high. So it says it's based out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Interesting. Is this owned by a Trump family member, I wonder? Since it's involved in military shit and Israeli military shit, and it's based out of West Palm Beach, Florida, I wonder. I wonder if I can see who owns it on here. It may not say all the owners. Anyways, I don't feel like looking at it, but I'm just curious if that might be a possibility. BIVI closed below VWAP on this 5-minute candle. I'm going to look at one more thing. 15-minute candle. I don't know, this is tricky. I don't remember, did this have news? So just because a stock has good news does not mean it goes up, just so you know. I have seen many, many times where stock has fantastic news and it still crashes into oblivion because a lot of people will short it once it has good news. So, especially biotech stocks, I feel like do that a lot. They have great news and they'll go down. They'll initially go up and then they'll crash. SILO just popped up on my scanner. So BV did have good news, but it is a biopharmaceutical company. So that makes it, in my opinion, a little more risky. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. It's holding at 284. So we're going to give it another few minutes to see what it does here. 7 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Let's see if it holds VWAP. Socket had a big pullback. Hello, stay happy. Gabriel says, this is actually pretty chill, to be fair, other than creeps with creepy comments. It's ridiculous, but still, this live chat is pretty chill, to be fair. I mean, I keep a pretty close watch on my chat, and I know like the regular people in my chat appreciate that. I don't watch other live streams, so I don't know what other people do. So I don't know if they're just like doing their own thing and not like looking at the chat too much, but I keep a pretty tight leash, as we know, on my chat. So I don't tolerate the creepy behavior and the trolls. And because like, I would say most of the time when I get trolls in the chat, I just ban them without even reading their comments. So they probably get bored. Andrew, I did eat breakfast already. I try to eat before I start the stream. It's just, I wasn't feeling good the last couple days, so I was really like moving a lot slower than usual. Aw. Pharaoh says, let's get her to 200 likes. She deserves that at least. That's nice. You're cute. Okay, BIVI, I did not get out of it. It could be coming back up. It's holding that 284. Level 2 looks okay. So we'll see what happens. We've got 5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. I'm just a little nervous about the last 15-minute candle is, I don't know what you call that. It has a name. I'm just having a brain fart and I can't remember, but the candle is essentially like a little T, which often indicates a change in direction. Could indicate a reversal. Not always, but that candle makes me a little nervous. It does have higher volume than the last candle, so that's good. But I'm watching it closely. 10 seconds left on the 5-minute candle. VWAP is 303. It looks like we will close above VWAP for this candle. It was 1 cent below VWAP for the last candle. So I would like to see it break above 327 at this point to show a little bit of strength. Would be nice. Joshua says, let's get her to 30,000 subscribers. Yeah, let's. You know what? Fuck that. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers. Why not? Mohammed loves me. Thank you. Friendly says, we day trading bros. And I don't know if you mean that like we day trading bros, or do you mean that are we day trading bros? Like, are you day trading bros? Or anyways, obviously I am not a bro. So I don't know what to tell you. No. But yes, we are day trading. I don't know if there's day trading bros in the chat. Put a DB in the chat if you're a day trading bro. I guess we need to know now. How often do I short? Not often. Not often at all. I think I've shorted like twice in my life. I would like to get more into shorting. Like today would have been a good day to short. I feel like you could have shorted pretty much anything and made money. You know what I mean? It was a shit day to go long for the most part. I'm thinking about trying trade zero for shorting, but you let me know what you think. Or if you have another platform you use for shorting, you can let me know. Where did my chart go? There it is. 3 minutes and 21 seconds left on this 15-minute candle for Mr. BIVI. And this is like a little late in the day to be trading too. I'm probably going to be hopping off in the next 20 minutes or so I can go swim. Actually, let me see. Hold on. I need to check something. Need to check. Hey there, what are the pool hours today? Okay. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye. All right. Josh says, is that the iPhone 17 Pro Max Deep Blue? No, this is an older phone. The one I'm streaming off of is my newer phone. Okay, BV's looking like it might be doing something. We'll see. I also have BQ, EXYN, HXHX, and Socket on my scanner. I don't know why Socket's popping up on the scanner because it's not really doing a whole lot. It's kind of in a pullback right now, but I think I might get in it. Fill the order. Fill it. Fill. Do it now. Motherfucker. It won't fill. All right, we're gonna wait and see if it fills. It's not filling. I'm a little impatient. Do I move my buy order up or no, I gotta move it up. It's moving. I gotta move it up. That's good. There we go. No, it didn't fill. Fill! Fuck. And what is this phone? Hold on, I'll tell you. I don't know what it is. General. About. This is a 14 Pro. This is an old phone. It's an old phone. All right, I think it's time for the hair to go up. I'm getting a little hot, even with the fan. And I'm not walking today because, oh, there we go, I just filled. I walked yesterday and the day before, even though I wasn't feeling good. But I have kind of this really annoying pain I get in my calf. I don't know if it's my calf muscle, tibialis anterior maybe. No, that's the front. It's one of my calf muscles. Sometimes gets sore when I walk. It's really annoying. I hate it. Let's see. Close 308. Okay. 15-minute candle on BIVI did close above VWAP. So that's good. That's good news. This stock has good news. It's holding VWAP. I think I just spit on the phone. Sorry about that. What am I doing? I am day trading. Vipin says it's Vipin. Thank you, because we couldn't read. No, I don't remember you. Andrew says, I don't like being like Paxton needy, yet today was a day. No, don't be needy. Don't you start, Andrew. Andrew says, but it's better than a cramp in the butt cheek. I don't know if it is, to be honest with you. I started noticing it when I worked in clubs and was walking around in heels all day. That's when it started bothering me. And now it just kind of flares up occasionally. I don't quite know what to do about it. It's annoying. Vipin says, really, it's heart. I don't know what that means. Pharaoh says, check BQ. We missed it. It is on my scanner. Let's check BQ. What did we miss? Oh, shit. Boy, you're not kidding. Well, it's still going. It has a lot of sellers piled up, though. Jeez. Yeah, you're right. We did miss that. Let me pull it up. BQ. I think Socket could have another big move today. I'm just saying. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah, 92 cents to $1.73 so far. Let's look at some previous levels and see where this might... I mean, it looks like it's still kind of going. There's a massive seller at, I think, the top of this move. 173 is a previous level. What was this one? 172. Yeah, it makes sense why it got to 173 and why there's a massive seller at, I'm sorry, 172. Why there's a massive seller right around there. How many shares is that? Trying to see how many shares that seller is. Oh my gosh, it just turned into a dumpster fire, that one did. Socket is on the move though, I told you. What did I just say? So on Socket, this thing, let me tell you about it. I have a very small position. Ooh, I definitely want to increase my position. Confirm. Yeah, that was a nice move on BQ though, and a very predictable level that it went to. That would have been a good trade for sure, but why didn't you tell me about it sooner? What the fuck? 173. All right, I'm waiting for a little dip on Socket. Socket likes to rocket. You know what I mean? Oops, what did I do with my level 2 data? I scrolled up and now I can't see my mountain. Do I want to raise my buy order a little bit? Yes, I guess I will. I don't want to, but I guess I will. Let's see if it fills there. There are a lot of sellers stacked up on Socket too, but I don't know. Paxton's back. He tried to leave, but the FOMO kicked in. Just a reminder, if you're going to be a rude cunt, you're just going to get banned and never seen from again. So bye. John says you're so beautiful. Thank you for that. Oh, Chris says, man, I must join and just hang out. Dropped in my feed again. Well, I guess it's a sign from the gods. Or maybe just one god. Nowhere says, I feel like you seem always professional, like all the time. Is it like when I say fuck? Does that make you feel like I'm professional? Is that what does it for you? Or I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I am a professional, so maybe that's why I sound professional. I got nothing. Andrew also wants us to get to 200 likes. I think you guys care more than I do. Good evening, Rohit. Good evening. Good day, I say to you. Oh, Mazda says she's a good woman. Thank you for that. That's a lovely compliment. I'll take it. BIVI is getting a little momentum here. BQ is still going. It just broke 173, just so you know. Oh shit, it just halted. And it halted as I was getting in it. Well, hopefully it'll, open back up at $10 and I'll be rich. A girl can hope, especially on a day like today. Vipin says, but now you don't forget me. The only slaves who stick around in my mind are ones who have paid me a large amount of money. So, What's the weather like today? Fucking hot. Every day in Florida, it's fucking hot. Over $90. 90 degrees. Chris says, wow, you're still streaming. Usually you're done at 10. Yes, it varies. I don't even know why I'm still trading because it's been a shit day. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, in the chat got me turned on to BQ. Yes, Pharaoh, you were the one. And it just halted. Yes, I got an order in just before it halted. Are you in it right now? It just broke the 173 level. So let's go back. I like to look at the 4-hour chart for levels. I know people do things differently, but that's kind of what I do, and it's usually pretty accurate. So If we break 173, we've got some little bitty levels here at 187. We've got a more significant level at 225. So I would be looking at probably 225. After that, the next level I see is $3 and then 344. I'm gonna write that down. Oh. Because, you know, I say something and then I forget it 2 seconds later. I said 225. I said 298. I said 346. I don't know what kind of accent that is, but it just came out of nowhere. Actually, fun fact, my sister has a very strong Southern accent. I can't even understand what she says half the time. It's very twangy. Very twangy. Anyways. Yes, I'm going to close out these positions and then it's time for me to go swim. Andrew says Georgia. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. Ooh, Pharaoh got the dip. I didn't get the dip, but I got it right before it halted. Low says 1870. What? What are you talking about? Oh, Chris is in South Carolina. I don't know. I guess I should be flattered that people keep thinking I have a fake chest. I just don't think I don't think I look fake at all, but maybe you just assume that every woman has a fake chest, I guess. I don't know. I don't have to tell you. Uh-oh, BV, what happened to you? Why are you doing this? The fuck? Where's the chart? What is that shit? Very disappointing. I'm getting out. You had your chance, and you've disappointed me. Very disappointing. Confirm. I'm out. I give up on that one. I'm not saying it couldn't still go up, but it held VWAP. It went up a little bit, and then it got rejected, so fuck it. Fuck it. All right, I did want to talk about Socket. I'm up 8%. Socket. I'm still mad at Pharaoh for not telling me about BQ earlier. Shame on you. You're in big trouble, sir. Socket. Where's the, there we go. Socket. When was this move? Day before yesterday? Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, it was pre-market on Monday, where Socket had a move from 38 cents to $3.97. And that spike was very fast. At least, hold on, I gotta pay attention when BQ's opening. And that would be right now. Oops, I was not paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, I sold part of my position. I'm just gonna, cannot be entered. The fuck? Yes, it can, you turd. You don't tell me what I can't do. How rude. Ugh! I didn't mean to put it in for that, but either way, I made profit. But BQ, I think could still keep going here. I think I might get in again. Getting a little dip. Hopefully it's a dip. watching, waiting. Putting my sell order in. Confirm. Watching BQ at the moment. The next level I have, I think I said 225. So I put a sell order in at 223. The high is 210 right now. If it drops below 190, I will be getting out. That's my stop loss. I don't really do physical stop losses. I prefer just like having a mental stop loss and then getting out, because I've had too many times where I have a stop loss and it gets to exactly that and then it goes back up. So I prefer a mental stop loss. That's just me. Watching. Uh-oh, it just dropped below 190. So, as promised, I will remove myself, even though it's probably going to shoot right back up. Which it is. Damn it. All right, so I'm out with profit and a little bitty more profit. I think it could still move up more though. I'm gonna give it a minute and see what it does here before I decide to get back in. What's Pharaoh doing? He's busy watching the trade probably. And then I'm gonna talk about socket. I mean, BQ is holding really well, which makes me think that it's gonna keep going up. But I'm gonna give it a minute and see what it does. Oops. What are we doing here? I'm still not back in it. I'm watching. Socket, I am in. I'm up a little bit on that one. I made 2 profits on BQ. I'm waiting to see what it's gonna do. I really should stop because I need to go swim. I can't remember what she said about the hours. All right, I think I will. BQ is going down a little bit. I think it could still go up. Dang, I don't know what to do. Looking to see if Pharaoh's in here. Okay, we're down to 177, 175, 173. Still holding off, watching BQ. All right. I'm in profit on socket. I do think it could go up a lot higher, but I do want to go swimming. So let me check the, yeah, socket. So I have a trend line from the other day. I'm not saying for sure that this is going to happen, but if this goes all the way back up to the trend line, I've got like $4.83. So I don't know if socket's going to have a massive move like it did the other day, but if it does, that's where it could potentially go. But now it's pulling back a little bit. Let me see the level 2 on this. I'm going to take my profit for now and go swimming. And that's my final answer. Confirm. So I sold my socket, not like my actual socket, but the ticker, the company socket. Socket Mobile. Ooh. Pharaoh had to take a call. Are you in BQ again or no? And are you watching Socket at all? Because I think that's another one that could move big time. It has some very large green candles at the moment. And I mean, it's a risky trade because it didn't really crash down too much after that big move. I think this has potential. I'm just saying. What's the short float on Socket? And then I'm going to go swim for real. For real, for real. SCKT. Socket. Socket to me. 0.99% short float, but you know, it could always have naked shorts. Okay, BQ has not really had another big push up. BV dumped like a dumpster fire. I'm glad I got out of that one. It's halted down. Fuck that. Disappointing, but not surprising. So SCKT and BQ is getting a little more volume in now. Okay, I'm turning it off before I start making more trades, and then I'm sucked in here all day and I want to go swimming. I'm turning sleep. Stop looking at me. All right, where are we? Tim offered me for $5,000 for 2 days. Just to clarify, so there's no confusion, I am not any type of escort and not going to do what maybe you're thinking I'm going to do. If you did pay me $5,000 to be at your house for 2 days, I would probably beat you, step on you, and make you clean the whole house in a maid outfit. So if you're interested in that, by all means, I'd be happy to come spend a couple days with you and make you my bitch. All right, on that note, it is Wednesday. I'm gonna go swimming. You go do whatever it is that makes you money so you can send it to me. And that's all I have. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m.-ish. I did post a new video for members only, and the reason is because YouTube did not like the video. So it is available for members only. So if you're a member, you can see it. If not, then too bad. Maybe you should become a member. Pharaoh says, fellas, keep your mind on the money. Yeah, right. Not on my channel. Will says, have a wonderful swim. Thank you for that. Chris is going to be tanning in the sun. Enjoy. I'll be tanning in the pool. Yes. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye.